And we're live one more time. One more time? No, many more times, but at least one more time for tonight. Realistically, yeah, I just dropped my arms. I'm like, I'm supposed to be doing a chakra teaching. Redirect the energy. Realistically, oh man, yeah. What's up, everyone? I am the hostess with the mostest, the high priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, archangel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, what are those cards? Guru, evangelist, North American Sybil. I am your messenger god, first child of God, the Lilith reincarnated. In order to keep up with me, you can't really. You gotta see when I post on my community page, my latest live video, and anything in my shorts. What are we doing? Well, again, we're supposed to be doing a chakra class. There it is. Meditation. Yep, these are the cards. These are so helpful. You know, how many cards do you have? I have 3 buckets full. I think I always say the same thing, but I keep getting more. So I have over 40 cards. Why? Because not that I need new ones, but we do. We revisit other levels while we're still growing. Yeah, so these are really old, but they're not. Because we have to revisit it, obviously, to remind you of what we're working on in what areas, and there's always new people. So something I fail to do a lot is talk to the crowd like they're new. I'll be talking to the same hoes every fucking... I know that's not you. But realistically, I have a soul tribe, and they're all I can see, and I'm like, you motherfuckers right here... They're blocking my view of all things that mankind could be. Mankind could be. At the bottom of the deck, we have meditation. Very Buddhistic. We are part of the white light, doing a lot of mirror work. I myself, our new house. I am the hostess with the mostest, the high priestess Phoenix. Lots of travel. I am destined to have another baby. God and the angels will celebrate that. But right now, we're going to talk about chakras. Part of that meditation that you see me doing, this is where you'll see me. I don't sit like that with my hands like that, not knowingly, but considering the fact that I always have a joint or cigarette, my fingers tend to look like that. And I'm always like this. Always, 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 always. So when you sit like this, and that's always a common seat, you activate your chakras. So I sit like this, and all kinds of weird, damn, they're going crazy out there. In all different kinds of places, I will sit like this and light up my chakras. And what happens then? I access the white light. If you light up all your colors, you access the white light. And then I'm sending out white light, or I'm in the light. And that's how I access your loved ones in spirit. Really? Yeah. 3 fucking monkeys. All your angels. They talk to me through feathers and butterflies. Everybody thinks I've lost my marbles, but I can see the eagles, and I have all that stuff. Come with epiphanies. I teach you about the tree of life, how I try to juggle all this in real life, all kinds of abundance, how to work with your heartache, communication. There's some Mercury shit going on right there. Really, planting new seeds. I don't really spend too much time in the clouds, but kind of. Tell you about how time doesn't exist. Rainbows in nature, we go back to numbers, and that's that. Realistically, yeah, these were like beginning stages. I'm not going to pull out this book. I'm just giving you these pictures to go with these cards. What are these cards? The Lumerian cards. They have deeper descriptions of what you access through the chakra system. Conveniently, as soon as you start these, you start with the chakras. But it gets very intertwined, bro, because nobody ever gets past the first 7. They're like, clean your chakras. Nobody gets past the first 7 and becomes a white light. Nobody? Not that I've seen. Why? Because after that, you access so many more. I can show you through my angel oracles that there's at least, what did we say? 17 to 21 different chakras, which are not. What happens is, once you've aligned these ones perfectly into the white light, you can take that white light into other chakra systems. So let me explain something here. According to this, Oh, I hate doing this teaching. See, because in the beginning it's easy, but it's the more you know, the more you know, the more you don't know, or you think you know, but you have no idea. Again, it comes from this. Now, all my life I've liked to sit like that. I'm very awkward. When there's no chairs and people be like, "Oh, let me get one," I'll sit on the ground, and it makes people feel uncomfortable. I do that in dresses. I sit like that pretty much everywhere. As I'm sitting in this chair, that's how I sit like that. When I'm sitting in my car, I sit like that. You know what I mean? When I'm on auto, like when I put on, you know, when I'm driving trips and shit, I sit like that. When I'm in my car smoking or anything, I sit like that. That's all of that. So that accesses the system. Really? Yeah, you're an upright system. You're an antenna. You have to, you know, they're not that old. Jeez. You guys aren't as old as us, but we used to have antennas on our TV, and you actually had to move them around to get frequencies, which were the channels. And that's what we do. And that's why moving, like dancing and stuff, when I tell you I'm doing it in that, and that's moving the energy through realistically. And that's why I told you I kind of look like I'm standing doing kind of cobra dancing in front of, you know, a flute, the way that I do that. And I do crazy hand mantras. Really? Mm-hmm. All the time, day or night. Could be a candle, could not. That's what I'm doing. Realistically, more than anything else, you'll see me out there doing. So let's start with the chakras. Now, according to this system, you have 7. And they start at the bottom, which is red, always red, which is the root, reality. Okay? Now, okay? As soon as you start with my Lumerian cards, this is a higher level of light, the highest level that we carry here. I have light frequencies, light codes, but these are light beings. And then you got into after we got into that, then we got started connecting with literal aliens. And that's how we're stuck in the fucking clouds learning astronomy now. I'm assuming at some point, which I'm not, you know, grateful for, I will connect with other beings outside of the Palladians. I'm not looking forward to that. I did not want to be a star commander. See what I mean? Just sounds stupid. But everything I do is I was like, well, what level of stupid do you want? Why am I going to this concert? Because I'm the goddess of the other world, and there's a lot of people that are dying to talk to these guys, and they want me to give them the light so that they can see them at night. Would you do it? If I rolled up on you and said, light this candle and you can talk to all the dead, they have messages for you, would you do it? I don't know. I'm just supposed to tell them what they do with it is their own business. But going back to it, so the chakra system starts like that, but not according to our books. According to our books, it starts with the earth chakra. But that's not the only place that it does it, because according to this book, when we start with it, we start with the 0, which is the dark night of the soul with Sariel. Hold on. I'll get to that page after all this, which is the galactic core, the 0 point. Realistically, it's black. So there's that one. So we go through how many suits? I think maybe it was only 17. 15. Yeah, it was 17 suits. So they let you access 17 layers of light and chakra, but you have to access the first 7 to get to that. So realistically, the Earth Star chakra there is a connection inside of the ground that we walk. Realistically, yeah, there's a radio wave. Boom, 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 boom. So that's why they're always telling you to go outside. That's your first way to connect. You can connect to something outside of you first. So that's how you connect to this one first, right? So I'm taking through all of these, but there's too many. I'm going to just stick to the 10 that are in here, and then we can go over there if you want to learn more. But really, no, this is too much for your head to compile in one session. Even I had to learn it in steps. Really? Hopefully. I don't know. We'll see. Let's talk about your chakras. The chakras. A chakra is an energetic point where information is traveling through. Really? Yeah, just know that. And we have 7 of them inside of us. And if we can access those 7, we can connect them almost like plugs to a computer, or like, you know, like a USB cord. It's like our own personal USB cord that we can connect to other things, and we can catch all of the different channels. It's like we're running around with our own little Wi-Fi connection, and only we can get those channels. That's a good explanation. Never knew how to explain this. I just kept calling myself a fucking antenna. I go around like doing that thing that Marshall does with those little things on his head. And that's not what. No, that's the devil sign. No, it's my antenna. No, that's the. Never mind. We're confused. They did call me the devil. Maybe that's why I saw it that way. All right, what is this? Oneness, collective conscious, anchoring, transmission from the higher realms. Sacred earth knowledge integration of the divine working with the grid lines. Okay, I tried to tell you that earlier. So complex, and that's why it's like, where do you get all this information? The divine. Where did you get that? It's in my head. It's like that Transformer moment, dude. It's like codes, symbols, clues. They're in my head. They're on the wall. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I can see it. And if you gave me a lot of, like, scrapbook material and a lot of, whiteboards and blackboards, whatever board you want to put up there, I need a lot of yarn, some planets, a lot of stuff. I could build it. It looked like the craziest thing you ever saw, but I could show you what time looks like. I guess that's the only way to describe it. And then, like, where consciousness is, it's not like a place. It's like, again, it's those subatomic particles that can't be seen. Just like this crazy space station that's it's just outside of our cellular visions. It's like holographic. It's not like they don't have like an invisible shield. But in science, when they say put on the shield, right? Like, I don't know, whatever your sci-fi fucking movies are and shit. They do something. They activate a certain kind of science, which will send off an energetic field, which is a reflectional field. Okay, they get this idea from where? The divine. Why? Because it's already been done in time. We just haven't mastered the technology. So think about this when I try to tell you this stupid shit. There's a literal fucking space station, an enormous one where they play fucking, chess with our lives that looks something similar to the Hunger Games with like a big old table. This isn't Fate. They don't play Fate. They get that there's just layers and layers of conscious direction given by God, the one source. It's like, let me talk to your manager. Like, who's that? It's the light. It's like, you have to go through so many layers of it, realistically, to get to the top. Yeah. I'm so serious. So in essence, it's like, how do you connect with all of this? Just inside of you. And people are disconnected, so they can't even understand it, let alone feel it or conceive it. Where does all this come from? The top one. That one. It's all coming in. You're getting all this information from on top of you. It's just you're blocked right here. You can't see what I can see. Why? Because your thoughts are blocking you. You're thinking too hard. That's all that it is. You just can't see it because all you can see is your current reality and the past and what you're worrying about in the future. You're trying to manifest future off of fear and desperation. So I can't even do that. What are you doing tomorrow? I don't know. I have great ideas. We'll see if any of those play out. Realistically, no. Keep it open. Keep the chakras open to receiving better information. Realistically, something like that. All right, so it starts by just going outside, and my story can verify that. Realistically, yeah. When I started waking up, I was fat. How fat? 236 pounds. How do you know that? Because I go back and I look at my doctor's, I can look at my chart. That's what they have. It's an online chart, and I can see it. That's how big I was when I started. What happened? It was after fucking COVID, and I just sat around eating for fucking years. Realistically, yeah. Then I come out and I'm going to start a music career, and I'm like, damn, girl, you are large and in charge. So I started doing exercises, stuff like that. Didn't really like the gym experience. So first time in my life, I started going outside. I started going specifically to Red Rocks, which are ancient fucking, holy grounds that are filled with unbelievable knowledge and wisdom and a gateway to every fucking thing. Talk about a sacred site and Earth Star chakra. So I'm out there pounding through it, and I'm opening up my chakra system, and I'm opening all of this. And so I'm like plugged to energy, realistically. And before I know it, it starts pulling my energy. What is it doing? Every time I'm feeling like it starts the healing process. I'm going through the healing, but I'm drawn there to do it. So I would get out there and I would get on my phone, and this is fucking up my music career, I want to tell you. I'm trying to broadcast my music career on my Instagram, and then all of a sudden you'll see me on, doing live videos talking about my childhood trauma on the mountains. I don't know why I was doing it. It just kept happening. And I would pour it all out there. It was like it would almost pull it out of me. I'd start walking and talking and it would pull it out. But at the same time, while I was sitting there and I was like, you know, I'm forcing myself to stay in my reality, which is pay attention to the rocks that you're climbing and walking and, you know what I mean, wipe your face and breathe. But I'm also, while I'm doing this experience, I'm reliving past traumas. And it's like this huge fucking healing experience. So it does start with the earth. And that's where I always tell everyone to do. Go outside. Go outside. And that's where I was, screaming about my new apartment. Dude, it has a fucking patio. I won't even have to leave my building. Realistically, yeah, you just got to be outside. Really? Yeah. We're built in concrete. You can't connect. People bring in, they put a bunch of plants and stuff. It helps it healthy, but you need to be outside. You need to connect with Mother Earth because she gives off all that energy. It's like not being able to get any sun or always being in the sun and never getting any shade. It's just unhealthy. You have to be able to get that, right? So you're at the gateway of the unknown. That's where that is. Now, why doesn't it come up next? So after that comes, that's just going outside starts all of this, right? Road trips, trips, walking, and, anywhere outside. Realistically, yeah, pretty much. That'll get your reality shifting. Okay, so according to this, we start from the bottom up, but that's not what happens to everyone. It does happen in the sense of the tower shifts from the outside, right? So if we're looking at how this works in an awakening, your outside world, a tower shifts. The root is connected to your reality, your outside world. Okay? So then as it shifts up, it brings up all of your darkness. But as you're working through the light, it's going the opposite direction. Really? Yeah. How does that work? All of your pain and suffering, you stuff, right? You stuff in your chakra. You're like, it starts with what you see and what you hear. That's your eyes and your ears. What you've seen and what you've heard over your life, right? And then they tell you not to speak about it, right? And then it hurts your heart. And then you shove it into you just keep shoving it down. Every time it comes up, you keep shoving it down, whether it's the death, a betrayal, I don't know, anything. You keep shoving it and shoving it and shoving it, right? Eventually, it fucks with your fucking reality. Especially what everyone we're seeing right now is right here, your sexual fucking tendencies. Why? Because you're lacking nurturing, you're giving it from this fucking area. Really? Yeah. And that's where I'm here to kind of fix that all out is the Lilith. Because you're using love as a form of sex, or you're using sex as a form to create closeness and love, which comes from a place of codependency, which is actually just a hurt place. You want closeness to repair your hurtness because you feel isolated. The isolation is something you've done right here inside of yourself, realistically, and you won't let any part of yourself out but this. How intimate are you with your mouth when it comes to the people that you're around? But you'll give your body parts openly. You know what I mean? How often will you give a hug or a high five? Think about it. You know what I mean? How close do you get to people? You won't put your body on them, but you'll put your genitals. Creepy as it is, isn't it though? Right? Where does that come? Your confidence. And where is this all coming from? A broken heart. But you don't want to fucking talk about it. It's not that you can't see it because you keep reliving it all the fucking time in your head. Welcome to the broken chakra system. So you'll hear me, I'll be like, oh my God, my chakras are fucking killing me. And I say, what I always tell you is I'm having a Stephen Hawkins moment, which means I'm stuck in this position, but I can't move. Why? Because they're lighting up. So I have transmissions that are coming through, but what it's doing is it's pushing my darkness to the surface. I can't typically see it. I can feel it. And then that's where I'll tell you, where do I feel it? Typically not in the front of my body. I feel it in my spine. So I'm filling up my spine. I'm using my fingers to fill up where in the spine is this, right? Realistically, yeah, and that's where I can feel where I'm hurting. My most common transmissions nowadays are between right here. And I don't know if it's my heart or my throat or my palladian. Right here, I have another one where that's where I get information from the star systems. Really? That one I can feel completely different. It feels like something's going in my back. But when it's fidgeting, like when it's lit up, I can't tell because it'll make these two go off too because it's so much pressure happening right here. I can't tell where the pressure's coming from. But like stuff like this, I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to get a period. Oh, we're about to deal with all of our sexual energy, all of our trauma, all of our mommy wounds, all of the really good, juicy stuff. Really? Yeah. When I say the solar plexus, I don't have too many of those, but that's our self-confidence, our self-worth. That would be like if I'm body shaming or I don't feel like I'm good enough or strong enough or I'm scared to do something. I guess right now it's probably some of that shit I'm feeling. I'm not feeling it, but I'm dealing with it. Really? Yeah. I'm gonna go back into some shit I didn't want to go back into. Why do you don't want to go back? Because everything's triggering. Really? I mean, you could go back to the venue that I have memories, faint memories of seeing many artists perform at that venue. I think a long time ago it used to be Bash, Club Bash. Really? That's how old I am. I'm hella old. And was I part of the 18 and up crowd or I was 21 when I was going there? Who fucking knows? And that's where I don't like to go places because at any time I could get triggered into memories and shit. Realistically, I could see somebody there that I don't remember, which is so basic. And they sure remember me. I'm unfucking forgettable. Realistically, yeah, I can change everything about me, but they still remember me, them bastards. They want to, and I'm like, you're a fucking stranger danger, stranger danger, I don't usually always remember them. And if I do, it might not be the best memory. It's all very scary. Really? Mm-hmm. Nobody gets that part. Why I really stick to myself and shit. It's a lot of fears. I don't want to face it. I don't want to remember who I was. There's a good reason why. I understand. In the beginning, I really wanted to know what I was hiding, what was hidden. No. Unless I have to, it's a need to know basis. Unless I need to know, I don't want to know. And God's like, this is a perfect opportunity for me to put me in the middle of a bunch of shit I don't remember and need to be reminded about. Realistically, I mean, really though. That's where all the chakra system comes from. So you have your root, which is your reality. Okay, you have on top of that is your sacral, right? So I'm going to tell you all the good things about these as we go through them, but I'm just going to show you what they look like in there. All right. And then you got your solar plexus, right? Now these are actually a planetary system as well. You're not getting this either. Oh, they don't have the higher heart in this one. They only have the heart. Okay. According to this book, you got 4 layers to the heart. Realistically, I mean, you have in this one, Jesus, let me go into it. Hold on. Really? Yeah. Because it starts, even though you start in the deep dark, you jump into the heart right away. Why? Because you need it. Sandalphone. That's the red. Hold on. Deal with me. Right here, I think it was. No, they're still part of the red. Yeah, Hanel was. Yeah, this one was the heart, and the organ of the human heart, right, is one of them. So that's the pink ray. But watch. According to this one, after the yellow, you have the universal heart. And see, this one has the higher heart chakra. You have the universal heart, and then you have the higher heart. See, they're missing different ones. This is what I mean. In just those ones. So that's 3 different ones in this book and 2 in this book. But there's only 1 in all of the other teachings. Why? Because they're layers to the being. As other people access different energies throughout their heart, they were able to distinguish that there was different connections through their heart. Can we agree on that and just move on? Okay, cool. So I'll just keep it to the basics. After that, we have the throat chakra. Now, this is where it gets a little complex, and there's more of them. A lot more? Yeah. We have the third eye. Okay. Do you see the imagery on the third eye? That's where it all is. The third eye is your visions, and they come through, what I'm dealing with Metatron. They're literally coming in basic shapes like that. That's why I had to learn science, or learn geometry and shapes. And he's going to break us into math, which is not my strongest suit. I'm more of a writer. No writer. That's what I heard. But that's what that is working through these visions that you're seeing. Some people, this isn't going to be so difficult to do. Other people, their mind won't let them perceive what they're seeing. So it's going to be a lot more difficult. You're being fed information just as much as me. You're just not believing it or allowing it to be rememberable. You're seeing images out the corner of your eye in your daydreams. I purposely will daydream for long periods of time and collect all that image and turn it into a language. You're not, but they're constantly sending you imagery. For example, you are connecting with dead people yourself, or shall I say they're connecting with you. How? In your quiet space, they're sending you memories of them when you were never ever thinking of them. All of a sudden, you can remember them so clearly, like they're standing there and they're showing you a picture of you guys. Nobody ever taught you that's what's happening, but that's what's happening. All kinds of different stuff in your quiet space. So there's the eyes that can see, and then there's the eyes that are always looking. It depends. It's kind of like reptilian, where your eyes blink like this, but what if they blink like this? And that's the washers, and that's what they call the veil, when the veil is open, where you can see, right? But realistically, you can't see because you're blocked by your thoughts. Now, all these oils up here, that's the next thing. What are you going to do? I'm going to anoint a candle and give it to them. All right? That's what they have to do. What do they have to do next? Put on the music of the person they want to access. Then what? Pay attention to the images that you're seeing. This shouldn't be too difficult. For some people, it's easy to space out and pay attention to your imagination. Other people, they don't have one. This is very difficult. They see nothing. They see their problems. They see their bills. They see their bank account. It takes them a long time to get out of their mind. They're just replaying the images that they keep putting in their head, which is constantly checking your bank account. Quit checking it, and it won't be so stuck in your head. Realistically, it's stupid stuff like that. The third eye shows you everything. So that's how I see everything. But the feeling, you know what I mean? Like most of it, the conscious mind can't see everything. And that's where a lot of the conversation is held through the heart. Realistically, that all those different heart layers are giving you information that your mind can't see. The mind can't see any of this. Realistically, it's the conscious mind. It only sees the conscious world. It only sees what's in front of itself. And even then, it will denote it as fake or not real. Often, people will see things and be like, no, I didn't see that. That wasn't real. That's not. And that's when you get caught up in these things where like, how did this happen? And then your mind has to remind you of the red flags that you missed along the way, but you didn't want to see them. So that's where it is you don't want to see this stuff, and you don't want to see any of it. Your mind is, it's pretty powerful. And mastering it, no, it's just navigating it, being able to navigate it, because it's constantly running in all different places. Where I access, people can only access when they put their mind to rest. I do that during the day. My mind is at rest. I put it to rest. Unless something pops in it, and then I put that shit to rest too. I have a quiet mind, so I'm able to perceive any of the images or any of the expressions that are coming in, because my mind isn't telling me. It's not constantly telling me what I'm seeing. I'm taking it in as a full experience. The mind is quiet. Really? Yeah. Pretty much. Unless it does pop in, and that's when it becomes a problem, because my mind is trying to tell me that this is what it is, but this isn't what it is. It's trying to make me fear something that I don't, because of what it's seen. Really? Yeah, it's a fucking annoying. That's the inner child, as I call it. All right, so there's your third eye. There's a lot of them after that. After the third eye is the crown. Okay, everybody from the moment they're born has a crown. Really? Yeah, every baby that's born has a soft spot on top of their head where their cranium hasn't completely closed in yet. Okay. Well, that spot, each of us can, we know it without ever even touching it. Go and grab your head. You know exactly where it is. Touch it. See, how did you know that? Because you're connected right there. That's where all the information is being given, is being poured in. Really? Yep. But you have to have the system. You know what I mean? You have to have all the plugs in order for it's kind of like electricity, bro. For the electricity to come through the wall, it has to have the right connector. And from that connector, you have to have the right cord. And from that cord, it has to be connected into the right outlet. Do you know what I mean? And that's how this whole system works. In order for you to do what I do, you're going to have to do, sorry, they're all stuck. And now I got something underneath. You're going to have to do what the ancients did, which is this. Are you serious? I'm dead ass. Why do you think they do it? Buddha, why? Why do you teach communities to sit like this for endless hours of endless days and endless nights? Now, you can imagine why I have that thing where my knee gives out, because I sit like this all the fucking time. So when I get up, my knees are fucking weak and my arms is heavy. But I ain't nowhere near fucking Marshall's mom's spaghetti. Realistically, no. I just want to add, you just be putting hamburger helper in that shit. You be trying to hamburger help the bitch. I want some sausage. Just messing with Marshall all the time. Really? Why not? I'm the only one that can get away with it. Don't you enjoy it? Okay, so as much as that is, they didn't show you all the rest of them. There's tons of them. Realistically, yeah, where's that other one? You have the soul star chakra, which some of them will teach about. And then you also have, where's that other card? I have them all over now because I made that mess and I grabbed them all. Solar plexus. Okay, hold on. Heart, solar plexus, throat, third eye, sacral. Must be this one that's turned over. Oh, and the ethereal. The ether. Really? Yeah, those are just the 10 that are listed in here. Those are all the different heart chakras plus those. Really? Yeah, I think there's 10. Maybe 9. I don't know. Do the math. But in my other book, we're accessing all kinds of high levels because we're working with the angels. So we're accessing higher levels of light. And that's when, after we got through those, we got into the light codes, which were the light frequency ones. I'll show you those in just a second. So I had to learn it little by little. But even now, I can take you to the whole level of it, but you still won't understand it until you start working on those. And that's what we do every day. First thing in the morning, what do? Depending. And that's where it used to be like that. I used to wake up at 4 o'clock. Who cares? Whatever time he said, I'd wake up in the morning with Kobe and a terrible thought that I still had to deal with. I'd wake up with a thought or a memory. I didn't wake up clear. I woke up thinking about something, anything. And I had to get that out of my way because I couldn't focus on whatever I was going to receive for the day. So that's where it starts. First thing, I get up and I freaking, that's how it used to be. But it hasn't been that way for a long time. I usually wake up clear. And then I could start the music. I'll sit down like this and I'll have the music. As soon as I wake up, I'm putting music into my head. I have a pair of headphones. Right now, cheap ones, because it doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm not trying to look cool. I'm just trying to keep frequencies going through my head. And I start the music process. Then I go and I sit outside. Doesn't matter what time I wake up. It really does not matter, bro. I just go out and I sit like that. I typically put a blanket underneath me because wherever I'm sitting is fucking freezing. And then I might or might not start the burning process right away, but shortly after I'll start burning sages and stuff. And that's where it starts the teepee, starts the fire, starts the kettle, starts the coffee. Because of my building where I live, they have fresh coffee running all the time. So I'll run down and grab coffee as I go out, and that's where I start. I'll light up a cigarette, and after that a joint, and I do like a bunch of power smoking for like who knows how long. Then after that I'll have to use the restroom, but I'll do this on and off till about 11 o'clock in the morning. no matter what time I started. You're serious? Yep, I'll take the kids, I'll do all of that, but I keep going back to that spot to get myself grounded. I won't know what I'm supposed to do until that time, and then I start moving it. Really? Yeah, it's a lot. But I have to. I have to spend that much time getting myself, otherwise, it's chaotic. I have to spend that much time grounding through the layers of energy and reality. Because when I first start, I'm right here. I'm in Deep Space Nine. I wake up with the stars. That's the first thing I do when I get out there. And I'm catching information and codes and all of this right away. I'm like, oh, what am I looking at? What are we talking about? Really? Yeah. Do you ever get to turn it off? Sometimes. Sometimes I can sit by a creek and I notice that time has gone by and I'm not being fed information, that there was a long period of time where I didn't have to translate anything. I could just sit and quiet. But again, it's always in like that. Really? Mm-hmm. When I'm in I've learned how to shut it off where I can just completely black out everyone outside of me while I'm doing this. And so I can do it anywhere, like literally anywhere. If you saw how high traffic my parking lot is in the morning, and I can just sit there and completely zone out and not see that there's literally fucking fire trucks, police officers, children, anything. I can't see anything that's going on in front of me because I'm completely in such deep trance and meditation. And that's what I'm like, I'm pretty sure people can tell. Am I blinking? I mean, realistically, and then I'll blink and I'll look around. I'm like, what the fuck is all of this? I seriously, I was sitting outside when that girl fell off of the building, when the child fell out the building and all that chaos. It was right in front of my face and I didn't even feel it. I didn't even know what was happening. I could see all the cops. I could see all the people. I just didn't, I was so out of this reality that I didn't know what the fuck was going on outside of myself. And it happens often. I've learned to stay inside of myself and only collect, information. And that's why I was like, I'm that definition of, staying in my own lane. Like I never think of you unless the image is put into me. I'll get a sensation. Go look at them. Okay. I don't just think about anybody. I don't think about anything unless they give me an image and then I spend a lot of time processing that image. But otherwise, no, I don't think about shit. It's quiet up there and I keep it that way. Because in the beginning it wasn't. It was chaos. It was constant thoughts and repetitive thoughts and fears and anxieties and worries and just stress. I was just constantly thinking about the future, thinking about the past, what I'm going to do today, no. And that's why I was like, we don't let that start. We don't let that happen. It takes a lot of work. You can't turn it off. And that's what people do with, like, you know what I mean? They try to go numb to things, which I did before. But the best way to do it is to just bring peace to it, each thought at a time, because it keeps coming up because you have no peace about this thought. So I would give each thought the time that it deserves to understand it and get it out of the way so I can go back to a peaceful state of mind. And in that, that's where I'm able to do all this magic, where I see all of this extra shit. Really? Mm-hmm. And I didn't intentionally work on becoming this. I was just trying to work on my mind. It was, I was working through multiple personality disorder and I was trying to understand it as it was, acting. Really? And even now, you know what I mean? I don't stop myself. I want to see it act. It's almost like, a demonstration, observant. Let me see how I act before I correct myself because I don't know where this act comes from. It could be good. Not everything I do is bad. I just don't understand it. Just because it's new doesn't mean it's bad. Let me just see what this reaction I'm having is. And that's where you give yourself time to grow. I don't know. When I woke up, I hated everything about me. I couldn't understand me. I couldn't control me. I didn't understand me. So I just kept trying to shut me down and not let me be and just be a new me without even caring what I was. I just wanted to be new. I didn't want any of my old life. And that's where like this is a real big deal for me to go back in. Again, it's great that bees able to be there, because that's what I told her. I was like, it's great that you're part of this. I didn't expect you to be. I do all these things by myself. I'm always grateful to bring someone along, but I didn't expect you. I didn't. I asked her like 2 weeks ago. She's like, yeah, I probably won't have a babysitter. And all of a sudden she's like, hip hop, hooray, ho. And that's cool. And it reminds me, through her, I can see an older version of me that used to love this type of shit. She's like, that's what she said to me. Because I was like, I need your name for the list. And she's like, girl, I believe in screaming. Like, you gotta scream. Like, what? You have to scream. Why wouldn't you scream for them? It's Bone, girl. I grew up on Bone, like Brother Lynch and Bone. Like, I'm like, so it's just, it reminds me, it's a good thing because it reminds me of a part of me I don't know that I used to know so well, that used to love to be part of that scene and be seen and all of that shit. But I'm just there on, some spiritual duty, but that's where I deny who I was and what I was and the very essence of why I'm even there. And that's it. It's like, I told him, I was like, I didn't doubt that you wouldn't be there for me, but I didn't expect you to. And where that goes is just has to do with the person I was, before I became this. And I don't always give respect to that person. I just wanted to erase it. Like I always did. I always wanted to erase who I was. And it wasn't a bad thing. It's just I wanted to be better. Not acknowledging all the great things I still was, just hating myself for everything. And that's kind of how it is. It's like, you want it all to go away. But and I've learned not to do that. I've learned the hard way is like, that wasn't the best way to handle things. And that's why I don't handle things that way anymore. And that's why I'm being drawn back to this whole situation. But it's causing a lot of anxiety. And I was like, despite my fears, I'm excited. I'm honored. I'm grateful to still be able to, do this and be part of something like this. But again, I'm being asked to face another fear. Can you go in there and be you? Be the old you. Here comes Kobe. Are you the same animal but a new beast? I don't know. I don't know if I'm that same animal. And then the new beast is like, you don't understand. And that's what I posted in my shit. It's like, if I came up to you and told you that I'm a medium to the other side and they have messages for you, I'm asked to give you this and tell you how to use it and just walk away. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds easy, but it's the first time I'll have to really do it with, not really, I mean, sort of, but the things that I do, it's like, fuck. How do you know that chick? That's a long story. And in the essence, it's like, I go from a chick to a creep real quick. It's like, you just turned into a whole creep. Yeah, I came in a creep. Am I supposed to be the full creep? Am I supposed to pretend like I'm half creep? How creep am I? Realistically, this whole thing is creep. Realistically, and that's why I just like, you're not supposed to leave the convent and go back to your old life. You're supposed to live in Brazil? Where the fuck did that come from? I don't know. Brazil's pretty dangerous. Just putting that out there. Anyway, so that's how this all started. Realistically, yeah. I started facing my freaking memories. And I started speaking about them. And I started dealing with my heartache and my insecurities and all of my sexual trauma. And it changed my reality. I'm going to do all this often. Really? Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what it is. It's simple. I can put it on a card that says we do chakra cleaning, chakra alignment. But how do we align them? Do you want to talk about your darkness that's hidden in all your chakras? That's ultimately, if this works, is going to fuck up your reality. If this works, this is going to fuck up your reality. No, they're like, no, this is going to make your life so much better. No, it's not. Not the way we do this. I've got to pull all your darkness out so it's not holding you down. This is going to fuck up your reality for about 5 to 7 business days. You might feel better afterwards, but I think you're going to need to come back for a fucking a realignment. Realistically, yeah, might be on the edge of suicide by then. Really? I mean, we got to pull it out of there, or it's going to turn into something we all know as called cancer. a deadly disease that nobody knows where it comes from, and it feeds and on your organs or your bones or your marrow. Isn't that the truth, though? What do you think it is? What if there was something inside of you that could fight it back? Which is what? Your light. You're praying for healing outside of you. But what if you had the healing inside of you to fight it? And that's where things started changing. So I did not keep hiking, and I didn't keep up my, my gym regimen. And I got off of the diet pills, but I lost all that weight. I got real healthy, mentally, physically, emotionally, all of that. Realistically, I got into the best, in some of the best healthy states of my life by just dealing with the shadows, my darkness, my heartache, my, repressed memories and feelings. Really? And that's how I can body map other people of what they're holding based on where their weight is. I can see what they're hiding. Stuff like that. You can tell me about that. So when we're talking about men, let's talk about what happened to Dre. Dre had prostate cancer, right? So we know that comes from where? Obviously. And it spreads into where? Okay. Now, what I know of Dre, not so much his reality that he projected, but I met him in the real world. But I knew a little bit too much about this. He had a very raw, strong sexual energy. And for me to know that as just a new artist being part of the game and not really, that should tell you a lot right there. Why should I know that about a human being? Because they were giving off a lot of this and an overconfidence. He was full of love and he was loud. Realistically, yeah, but that's where it was. What was it? Something hidden here. His darkness was hidden here. Now, when you go into those chakras and you realize what those chakras are and what kind of things we hide in them, you realize you got some serious work to do. Because again, the sacral chakra, that's all of your sexual energy. And so there's a lot of cancer that goes between men and women in those body parts and those organs. And not just your sexual organs, but all of those, your intestines and all of that, which would be your bladder cancers, your vaginal cancers, your ovaries, and then the men is, the testicular cancers, all of that shit, all right there. What is that? First off, that's your reality. And those are where you hide most of your darkest mommy wounds. And as I work through them a lot, your sexual conduct. You have a lot of sick sexual conduct that's hidden there that comes with shame. Any shame, blame, regret, and embarrassment is what plugs up these holes. So imagine like your sink, right? You can pour all kinds of food down there, all kinds of alcohol, all kinds of shit. But what really stops up the hole, and that's what we got to deal with, is the shame, the blame, the regret, and the embarrassment. How do you clean those out? The truth shall set you free. You tell your story of the most shameful things, regrets, embarrassments, and shit. Realistically, yeah, it holds you down. The things that you're ashamed of, bro, you have hidden in all of your chakras. You carry that shame, and that's where the message of Jesus sets us free from just that. You're ashamed, bro, and you blame people, yourself and others. You have so many regrets and you are so embarrassed about things that have happened. You would never want anyone to know such things have happened to you or that you've acted such ways. That's what's hidden. That's the darkness. Doesn't matter what the experience is, that's what's left over. That's what we're looking for. If you want to know what we're looking for in the dark night of the show, at the dark night of the soul, that's the juice. That's what we're going in to pull out. We need to pull it out of your being. You carry too much shame behind this, bro. People have shamed you for stupid shit, and you wear it like it's really you. Like you're ashamed of who you are. You're ashamed of where you work. You're ashamed of how much money you make. You're ashamed of, I don't know, your double chin. You're ashamed of fucking anything, bro. People have shamed you, and it dims your light. 100%, which is your confidence. Your light is your solar plexus. Because you don't feel comfortable and you don't feel worthy and you don't feel confident because of shame. Now the next thing is blame. Most of the time, what do? Do we really blame others? Or we blame ourselves. And that's where I struggle with. I have a lot of blame towards myself. I forgive you. Fuck you. How did I do this to myself? How could I fail myself? How did I let you do this? You know what I mean? It's like, I let you. Fuckhead. You have no power and authority. I did this to myself. So then there's blame. Embarrassment is pretty bad too. If anybody ever knew this, they would mock me forever. Ah, fuck, dude. When fucking Bobby asked me, he didn't know, or I don't know why. I don't even know the whole scenario, but I'm talking to him and I'm like, he's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm getting ready to check into a hotel. And it's like the middle of the week. And he's like, why? And I was like, as much as I like to stay outside, it's good to have a room. That's all I said to him. And he's like, are you homeless? Oh my God, you guys, if I could tell you the fucking feeling that I felt at that fucking moment is everything right there. I was so fucking terrified to answer that question. If I tell him this, he'll never talk to me again. I feel like such a piece of shit. I felt so horrible. It was until that moment, bro. I didn't have no fucking pride about it. I wasn't ashamed of my situation. I wasn't embarrassed about my situation. I didn't care. I was very proud. I thought people, at this point I had a huge following on YouTube that was, they really enjoyed my adventures. I'm like an adventure channel, but here comes this guy and he's like, wait a minute, are you homeless? And I just was like, oh my God. Yeah. He dumbed me down so bad, bro. I felt so terrible. Something like that. You don't want people to know. You don't want to know you're bankrupt. You don't want them to know you had an abortion. You don't want them to know that you got raped. You don't want them to know that you fucked your best friend's fucking wife. You don't want them to know that you're addicted to some substance. Something, bro. All of that turns your lights off, bro. Realistically, yeah. So as you start pulling this stuff off, you become lighter and you light up. And that's how all this happens. I didn't mean for this to happen. I didn't know the science of what was happening. I had no idea what was happening. I just started working with my feelings. I would have feelings and then I would get memories. Or I'd have memories and deal with the feelings. That's all I was doing. That's it. And as I do it, I keep myself, you know what I mean, as an open antenna to the nonsense. Really? Now, when you do that, you're opening up your Merkaba. For that, I don't have a picture of that in these. Of course, I would not. And I don't believe I have a picture of it in... Yeah, here we go. I lied. All right. There's your Merkaba, sort of. We talked about the number frequencies. Let me get this card. Do you see this? It's called Metatron's Cube, right? Okay. It talks about a bunch of interconnectedness, but that's what happens inside of your own personal energetic field when you're sitting here fully open. This happens outside of you, and you are connecting with all of these realities. So that's that tree of life where I'm traveling through, and through all different times and dimensions. Congratulations. I can explain what I am and how it works, but none of that matters. All that matters is how it all started. If you start it and keep it going, you will end up like me or further than me. I don't think that's possible, but I believe, and whatever. You'll end up where I'm at. I don't think you can outdo me in that sense, but we can travel the universe together. And that's where you see these key points. Those are what we're talking about, these chakras. These, you align with energetic points where you can access information that other people couldn't. And that really just goes back to your USB plug. The plug that you have, you're your own plug where you can get information that other people cannot access. How? By just working through it. It's very simple, but what we do, nobody wants to do. Because of what? The psychology part. It's all psychological. Psychological and emotional. After you get past your psyche, which is your conscious, then you can do all this. You won't need me. It'll all make sense after that. But right now, is you need someone to push you into your thoughts and into your feelings and guide you through them. And that's why everybody's going to therapy and wellness centers and all this bullshit. But they're not going to the root of the problem, which is the pain. Nobody wants to do the healing without the pain. And that's where this real story is. I have fucking thousands of videos of me in pain, reliving pain that I didn't even know I had. That's what's being asked of you. If you take it all off, your entire experiences, everything that's in your head, then they can put all of this information in your head instead of that. You'll still have the conscious knowing of bullshit, right? What you need, but you access so much more information. Really? Simultaneously, of course. It's like having, and that's where they say the human only uses a small percent of their brain. We're turning that percentage up like you wouldn't believe. And that's where I always say, when I can sit down with science, they can put this little cap on my head and see that my brain lights up like a fucking Christmas tree. I use parts of my brain that other humans do not access. And they can watch the thoughts move through my brain, how I can access alchemize it. Really? I'm a scientific wonder. Wonder why I call you bitch. Sorry. And then there's the Pock side of me, the thug life that will never leave. I can't believe it. And as I was out there, I was like, Pock, I can't believe you're making me do this, bro. Really? I mean, I don't mind telling people in public, but not in general. And I haven't seen these guys forever. For real? I mean, since my daughter was a little girl, I haven't seen Bone. Like face to face is what I mean. I might have seen him in passing since then. And then I'm completely avoiding the absolute obvious, which is my twin flame. He's a wonderful man, and he was aligned with a future that I was going down, and I just left that future. And anytime I go back there, he's always in alignment with what was my dream. But he still accepts me. It's a really beautiful thing, bro, because he knows what I am. I don't know if he watches my videos like that and shit. He is fully aware of what he is bringing into that venue. And he loves it because he'll say it. You're great energy. And he enjoys just my company. And it's like, how could you? It's just a grateful thing, the whole thing. But it's a lot. Really? I got to put on the me suit fully. I got to be all layers of me to do this job. Really? Not one part, but all parts. It's crazy. And then to be accepted for all parts, too. That's really what the cool thing is. It's kind of a sad thing, I have some really great twin flames that kind of get shunned because I'm giving all my energy to the darkness. But it's not like by choice. I'm just drawn to this particular partner because this is where I'm working at in my life. And that's why I'm really excited is I've left the darkness finally to where I can finally align with a light twin flame. If I was in a dark place, I wouldn't be able to align with him. And that's why I wasn't able to align with him before. I had too many fears. I had too much shit I was still dealing with. I couldn't enjoy myself and see you. And then even for this task, I still, you know what I mean? I'm still in the light to where I'm so much in the light, accepting and loving of myself that I'm willing to do this because of my spiritual calling and because of myself. I love myself enough to go out and do this, but I also have to be strong in myself to go out and do this. Really? Yeah. There's some hold up. There's some pushback on it. There's some fears, and there's some residual I don't want to. And I guess if all transparency, there was a sliver of hope that this wouldn't work out and I wouldn't have to deal with this. Really? I mean, I was just kind of all transparency. I was leaving it up to, well, if he doesn't put me on the list, I'm not going to buy a ticket. Really? Well, I wasn't. I'm not in no position to be buying concert tickets, guys. So I left it to that. And that's what I told him. I wasn't depending on you. You know what I mean? I didn't think you weren't going to come through. He's never said he wouldn't. And that's where it is. It's like, but you know, at the same time, I don't abuse that either. But that's what it's like. How did you get that ability? Just being me. You know what I mean? I didn't get that ability being spiritual. I got that ability being me. And that's where I have to honor that there's people that still liked me, that liked who I was and still enjoy the idea of being around that person that I deny that I am. And realistically, yeah, they want the crazy me in the club. The me that I be sitting on the fucking porch acting like, and it's still there. I'm still listening to the music and jamming. I'm just jamming to my own tune, and it's a totally different screen I'm watching nowadays. But it's very butterfly, I guess. If I was gonna flap my wings and see if they work, it's like, you know, it's intriguing. The caterpillar doesn't stop being a caterpillar. The caterpillar turns into the butterfly, but it's still the caterpillar. And that's where it's like, I still have to recognize that it's, you know, that's where the thing is. It's like honoring what I was and that it did help me become what I am in all layers. And that's what I do a lot. It's like, oh God, I don't want to remind you of what I was when I was like in my teen years, was such a bad girl. And that's where I tried to hide. But then I look at that and it's like, I honor what I was and what it made me today. Now I could walk down any motherfucking street and don't fuck with me. I'm fucking thug life because of those years. And that's where it is like, where does it come from? You don't want to know. No, I'll go ahead and I'll tell you. But that's where it is you're hiding your past, not acknowledging how present it very much is and how it made you. Yeah, so that's the chakra system. It starts with the 7, but after you access those and you get into the white light, oh yeah, I was going to show you where it comes after that. After that, and again, we pull these on Sundays. Most of them, I could have just actually, no, I'm not pulling out cards. I'm going to pull out the guidebooks. Why? Because you can get the cards and I'll just read you the guidebooks as we go through them. So after I accessed the chakra system and I learned how to do all that and all my chakras were open, I became a light worker. So I learned how to work with the white light, and which is becoming more of a light being instead of being such a dark being, working with this white light. After that, I started learning the frequencies to the white light. There's frequencies that they travel in, right? And so I tell you all of that. And so I learned that. And then we were brought to the Lumerian cards. Past that, Metatron is our next highest level of light right now. The light cards that we're reading through Metatron. Realistically, yeah. Why? Because of the level. And if I had to say it, dude, these ones, these fucking dolphin oracles made in 19 who knows what, these motherfuckers are some serious light codes. But again, the dolphin transmission of energy is the same light energy that the Palladians, which is the Seven Sisters planetary system up there, is sending down to us all the time through the moon. They connect, these beings connect with actual humans. I'm glad they're not showing up in my fucking visuals. I'd rather hang out with, you know, the dead people than fucking aliens. But where's your body? Just kidding. Really? I mean, I remember seeing them in the dream. It was not friendly. Really? Yeah, they look like this, bro. They really do look like this shit. Really? Yeah, they kind of do. They're like, not like God, but they're like, have these like, I don't know, like a very calm Indian, or, you know, Indian, alien face. Where are we at? Well, according to our cards, on Sunday, we're going to be in harmonic flight. That looks like the divine masculine and feminine in order. That's nice. Well, I mean, again, I'm coming into union with my twin flame. That only means that I can only come into union with him when I am in the light. Really? Nope. And that's where it is can anybody meet my light? He does all that. He's a minister in the music industry, if you ask me. He spreads love and light through developing new musicians. I do that wasting my time with old musicians, trying to get them. He teaches them how to do the business aspect. I try to teach these musicians over here the creative aspect and how to access it, stuff like that. So it's kind of, we're in alignment to, what we hope for the future. Realistically, yeah. That's about it. No, I'm not like, um, no, it's funny too. I saw this post. As all the therapist says, I think you fall in love too easily. I said, what'd you say, babe? So don't let me fall in love with nobody. Really? No, not trying to fall in love. If you notice, that's the least thing I ever try to do with anybody. Really? It's dangerous. Dangerous. Let's hope that doesn't ever come out of there. Like, last thing he needs is me falling in love with him. Really? Some of them don't need to be all like that. I'm not falling in love with fucking Logic or fucking Royce. Not falling in love with fucking Kanye. They're not all intimate love like that. They're not that. The twin flame is just an alignment, and not all of them are meant for healing. And I can remember that. That's how I knew, there was all these things. Like, I would be deep in the dark night of the soul in the first levels and would be able to see him in the first levels. I just went into dark. Maybe he doesn't have a dark background like me. Let's hope that he wasn't watching my stories. Just kidding. Everybody will see those stories. So that's how the chakra system works. Once you access it, you turn on your energetic field, and that's where you can become more magnetic, where you're doing all of this magnetizing shit into your life. And that's the divine feminine. You have to balance your divine feminine, which is what? Your feelings, your emotions, your intuition, all of that subconscious shit. Really? Mm-hmm. And that's where you stop chasing and you start attracting. Realistically, yeah. And that's what I said to him. I was like, I'd like to help you manifest. Realistically, there's things that he wants in life, and he just has to speak on it. And that's all it needs to be is like, well, the power of two. Let me put some manifestation power on that shit. Which is what? Turn up the energy, make him more attractive to it, so it starts becoming a little easier, so he doesn't have to work so hard, but it just comes to him. Really? That's what we do, and that's what everybody wants my energy for. They want to be able to be that attractive, right? So it's a falsity that they think it's me on them. Like if they get near me and they get, they put my energy on them, then they'll be more attractive. But they're just using me to be attractive. They're just using me to believe in something better instead of just believing in something better on their own. And that's themselves standing in the way that they can't do it on their own. And that's what I teach my son. My son, I'm going to end on this note. He knows that, I'm lucky. That's what they called me, lucky. All my life. That's my nickname. And because good things, fortunate things happen. Again, I'm not Fortuna. How does that work? Well, first off, a lot of it is discernment from the Bible. It's just intuition. I have a gut feeling. I know when to go. I got a good feeling about this. Let's do this. Da, 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 da. Shit like that. But as far as the luck is, it's like attracting good things. So like my manifestations is I just believe that this can work. And that's where the strength in it is. You guys believe that you need something else to make it work, or you can't make it work, or you have to work harder at it, or this is the only way to do it. You see things linear, that you have to do it in order. This is the only way it can be done. I try to teach you how to bend the laws of reality so that it can be done another way and just attracting it to you. Really? How do you do that? It's all in thought process. People want to be able to have that ability to think it into reality, but the thoughts that they want to realize aren't real. It's not something really important to them. It's like they really want, like, Russ would use this for something stupid, like getting a Grammy. What good is that to him or anyone else? They use it as parlor tricks. You know what I mean? If I had that power, I would use this to get what? It's not about an adventure or something like that. Really? Yeah. You believe that the church, going through the church, will bring you closer to God, because they've made you believe that you have to go from here to there to get to this. Jesus told you didn't have to do such a thing, and that the power of God lived within you, right? And that goes back to, how do you access God? Through your chakra system, through all of that. Everything's inside of you. That's how I access the universe and all of that abilities. That's how I can get, I can access dead people. I can access all kinds of information. It's inside, not outside. We could spend our whole life and never even touch any of that information, never fully access it. And there's many people that do. Really? Yeah. So the whole point is just to be back, in tune with spirit, and not be of the flesh, where you're concerned with the things of the flesh, but you're only doing what the spirit says because you trust the spirit, and the spirit will guide you through this experience. And that's where I am now, and that's where I'm trying to get people. But they don't. They only see, you know what I mean? They only believe in their own reality. I'm showing them, and with the help of everyone before me, that people believe this way, and it worked before, and it can work again, and you don't have to work this hard. I'm not saying that you're going to be like me and you're going to give up your entire job for God. That's my role as the priestess. That's my role, not your role. But he probably does want you to give up your job for a career that he has in line for you. And you might not believe it. So, like, say that you've always wanted to be an artist, but you only see it, well, I didn't, or, okay, here's a different one. Maybe you saw yourself as an Olympian. You were going to be a gold medalist in some kind of field. And since you didn't go to Olympic camp, and you didn't do this and you didn't do that and you didn't do that, your dreams are ruined. No, you missed the whole big picture of what made you happy. It wasn't the gold that you got. It was the challenge of what you were, you know what I mean, the feat that you were fighting for, whatever it was, that field. It wasn't about the gold. So say example, like, you had this dream that you wanted to be a fucking gold champion fucking ice skater. It was never about you fucking ever getting a gold fucking medal. The whole reason you had that was your whole fucking life, you were meant to get on the ice and you were meant to skate. But you gave it up just because there was no gold involved. If you put on those skates and you get back on that ice, you're going to feel golden again. And by your ability to do this, you're going to make, probably, you know what I mean? You're going to make Olympian stars out of skaters. You may have saw this for yourself, but only because you were greedily, but not understanding that this was a skill that was given to you to give to someone else. It might not be you that was going to get that gold medal. It might be your daughter or your son or somebody. You were meant to, you know what I mean? You thought you wasted your skill because you didn't get the gold medal, but you learned what it took to get the gold medal, so that you could be there when someone else gets it, and they thank you for giving it to them. You ever notice that? With the one exception of Snoop Dogg, I'd like to thank myself. Everybody gets up there and they thank everybody else that helped them achieve that goal. In that moment, when they're accepting their Grammy, you are the most important person in that moment. And that's why those lists go on, because there's so many people that made this happen. Not me, but everybody that was there all the way along this way to get this gold. This is one piece that needs to be to them and not just me. But it's only given to one person. And that goes back to, you know what I mean, like Formula One, or, or even NFL. Only the winning team gets to wear, the ring for that year. But how many people made sure that that team won that year? Realistically, it's not about the gold. It's about what you have to offer to the team. If you're out there just selling flags, bro, you have the coolest fucking t-shirt ever, bro. You have the coolest t-shirt that nobody ever saw before. That's what you was meant to do, bro. Yeah, there's a million people out here selling fucking, you know what I mean? Selling t-shirts. But your t-shirt, that's the one. That's the one, bro. He gave you that creativity. Really? And it's not good. It may not make you rich and famous, but it might. Bitch, you might have your own fucking clothing line. If not, you're just got all of us out here looking fucking smooth, bro. Got us looking smooth. And that's what it really means. It's not always about success, but just the fact that you're the most successful at what you do. And nobody does it like you. Really? Yeah. It's not about the competition and it's not about being awarded as the best, but just knowing that you are the best that you can be and you're giving it your best and you're only going to get better. And that's all you got to give is your best. You don't give nothing less. And as I say this, you can hear Kobe speaking all the way through me. Really? Because I don't give a shit. I'll give you half. I'll give you nothing. Just kidding. I love you guys. Really? Yeah, that's where it all comes from. You're dark and then you're light. How do you get to the light? Working through your darkness? Swear to God. You'll just be sitting there crying, and then all of a sudden you'll just be full with joy and happiness and grateful to God that for your whole life and all your suffering. And thank you for putting me through this. And it all makes sense now. Really? I mean, sort of. It'll start to make sense as you start going through it. You understand that He was taking you through things, and then you'll see the patterns where, like, some of it, He even took you through like your own parents' patterns, shit like that. You know what I mean? You repeated history and just did weird things. Really? Yeah, but you got to go relive them and take them off so that you can live new. You can't see a future and you're living in the past, people. Really? Yep. Well, that's my end message to you, my end game to you. And to the rest of you, yeah, we're preparing for Friday. What are you preparing? Is God asking you for the same thing? Well, you got to step up and be the best version of you on Friday. You got to really step up and show that you're you. That's what I really feel is happening. That's what's happening for me. That's what's happening for my twin flame. You know what I mean? That's what he's asked to do is if he's supposed to, you know what I mean, be, go and perform, he's got to be the best version of himself for the crowd. That's what B wants to do is be the best version of herself. Everyone that shows up at the club are asked to be the best version of themselves. Is that what God's asking you to do this Friday? Well, you probably should do that. And I'm sure that a lot of fears come with it. And maybe you're being asked to go, face the past. I'm not sure. That's never easy. Like, imagine going to your high school reunion or something like that. I'm sure you'd have all kinds of anxiety. There's some people you'd like to see, but there's many you wouldn't. Some of them you're afraid won't recognize you, or you don't look like you used to, or you're not the same person you were. You know what I mean? You're not that cool kid no more, or whatever the case. Things have changed. Times have changed. That's what I feel like it's for me. Really, on top of the fact they're asking me to do some goofy ass shit. I mean, they kind of dumbed it down like that. If I just walk in and say it like that, not like, Hawk sent me. Yeah, let's maybe not say that. Let's not say that. Shh, Hawk, shh, shh. I got this. Let me figure this one out. I'll figure out what to say. I'm working on it. First off, never mind. Don't start like that. Realistically, I mean, seriously, it's going to be a weird time in hell. It always is. I don't know, but Bernadette's excited. I love doing that for people. They really love these opportunities. That last bitch, she was all over herself. They always be all over themselves. Oh my god! I'm so embarrassed already. Really? Yeah, she swears. She's like, I'm gonna be screaming their name. Oh god. I've got your hype man, guys. Oh god. I mean, realistically, if we're trying to make a scene, this is the scene to be at, I suppose. I'm always trying not to be seen. And then I bring in somebody that wants to be loud. Just trying not to be seen. God just makes me shine bright like a fucking diamond. Seriously, I don't know. God knows what he's going to make me wear, too. I'm always standing out in my clothes. Oh, I love it. I love it. Why? Because I come in looking like a fucking Halloween costume. You can't not love it. Everybody's like, who's she? I don't know. Who do you want me to be? The real answer is never good enough. I mean, I try not to even answer that question. What's your name? Phoenix. Oh, that's such a cool name. Yeah, I gave it to myself. It just starts the whole conversation. It always starts. I don't even want to start a conversation. Why? Because there's a lot of questions, and you like my answers, but you don't get it. It's like you're buffing me up, bro. You're like, oh, that's so cool. No, it's not. I'm trying to tell you the whole time I'm not cool. And you're like, you're the coolest person I ever met. No, I'm not. Stop. Stop, drop, and roll. I gotta go. Realistically, I try to tone it down all the time. Really? Yeah. They're like, oh, that's so cool. No, it's not. It's not. I deal with a bunch of airheads that don't want to fucking deal with their fucking hurt trauma and pain. And I spend all day pouring mine out on the internet. It's not that cool. I mean, it's cool if you do it, but nobody does it. Nobody. Shut up, Nate dog. At least I'm going to go out and dance. That'll be fun. I better wear the right shoes for that. Put on some ballet slippers at this particular moment. I have no idea what kind of weird outfit I'm gonna wear. Really? Hasn't even. I wanted to wear like a dress, and they're like, no. They turned it all goth in my head. I was like, okay, that's a bit much. And I was gonna wear like a sweater and a hat, and then it turned all, I don't know, Kris Jenner in my head. I was like, okay, not that. We're playing dress up. I feel like I'm Lewis Hamilton in my head, realistically. And I haven't even gone. She's like, we're going to go get clothes tomorrow. You know what she said that made me drop and roll? She's like, girl, I need to go to Rainbow. I was like, shut the fuck up. Where's Rainbow? First off, I want to point out it's by Sloan's Lake. Second, it's this G-ass fucking, it's where you used to go to get a fit for the night, bro. I'm telling you, it's so old school. Really, I know, they had them in California. Really, yeah, it's just this cool little fit where you get a cool little fit to look cool in the streets. Really, I don't know, bro. They're just reliable. Realistically, yeah. I don't know. So she wants to go get a fit, and she's like totally fucking hip to this shit. And that's what she needed. She needed someone to come in, and she needed a. That's what, I did too. It's cool to have someone to talk to. She needed a friend. She needed someone to bring some excitement, to bring some life, to bring her back into the world and show her something. And that's what we were talking about, those people from Neptune. Yeah, that's me. I'm that alien that's going to show you a good time. Don't get attached. I won't be here for very long. I'm about to, beam up to another place. Really? Yeah. Yeah. I leave an impression, dude. I always am a good time. I'm a good time. Night of Wands. I'm always a good time. I just don't last for very long. I don't stay around very long. Really? Yeah. Well, work through your chakras and we'll keep working through them. Tomorrow's Wednesday, communication. Open your mouth. That's your throat chakra. It's one of the hardest things we do. In order to get this energy, it's flowing for sure, but how do you get it out? You have to pour it out through your mouth. Sometimes I'd be joking. I was like, why can't I just get a serious case of diarrhea? Diarrhea of the mouth. Realistically, yeah, and that's where you pour out all your feelings and all your thoughts out your mouth, and now you feel refreshed. That's why people pay for therapy. Yeah, you're gonna have to pay me to listen to that bullshit that's coming out of your mouth too. Just kidding. I do this shit for free. Really? I mean, I might give you a funny look. Or you're blurting all this bullshit out at me, but that's what I'm here for. Afterwards, I'm be like, do you feel better? And do you feel better? And how about now? I actually feel better. That's great. I'm glad you feel better. Have a good night. Whoosh. What do we call that? We call that the dump truck. You just dumped all your shit on me. I hope you feel better.
You mean trauma dumping?
Yeah, pretty much. Really? Yeah. It happens anywhere I go, dude. I'll go to the bathroom and someone will tell me about their problems. I'll be in a supermarket. I'll be anywhere. These motherfuckers, you know what these motherfuckers did? Nope, tell me all about the motherfuckers. Are you serious? Yeah, I know more about people than I never ever wanted. I don't even know no people, but I know all about them. That's what happened to that one guy the last time I went to the club. I let him use my hand sanitizer. That's all I did. I was using my hand sanitizer while I was coming down. He's like, hey, can I get some of that? I was like, yep. And he was like, then I saw him later at the bar and then something. And before I knew it, he was telling me about how his dad cheated on his mom and that's why he can't approach women in the bar. Really? Oh, man. Why did I let him squeeze my hand? It happens all the time. Really? Oh, man. Oh, man. Did you guys see that video of the weirdo that I got under the full moon of Scorpio, the guy that was masturbating, God, he told me all his trauma. It's terrible. It's made me so uncomfortable about men for so long. It's like you are validating every one of my fears. We totally believe men are exactly what you say you are. How am I ever going to recover from this? Jesus had to come in and say he was a sick one. They're not all that bad. I hope not. I really hope not. I really hope not. This is where we have to believe in something better than what we've seen. I mean, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Really? No. He's just validating my biggest fears. Why? So I could face them? It doesn't change anything. Not everybody's doing that. Really? I mean, there's a lot. You need to work on that. And that goes back to that sexual energy. We're always talking about that. Why? Because it's your form of love through lust. As the Lilith, I roll over that bullshit. I'm not going to love you. I'm just going to lust the shit out of you and make you love me. Now you got to see where I got all these men that won't leave me alone. Damn it, just leave me alone. I love you. No, you don't. You lust me. You just lust the shit out of me. Leave me alone. You can't love me. You just want to lust me. And you're not good at that. Sorry. I'm just very unsatisfied right now. This department needs to be dealt with. I have so many other parts that are still holding that part back. Why? Well, luckily, I'm not trying to love you that way, but I tend to do that, so I'm trying not to do that. We're trying to control that. Realistically, are you controlling your lust factors and your love factors? Really? I mean, if I love you, then I'm probably going to fuck you because that's the way to show love, right? That's not the way to show love. I mean, it's very loving of you and all. In essence, that white guy asked me, hey, dude, they didn't throw him out of the building. I saw him yesterday, and it was very awkward because he was with his girlfriend. Awkward, awkward, awkward. Very awkward. He didn't get thrown out of the building. She must have misinterpreted who I thought she was talking about. But his car, he did crash his car. Was that mother, what was it? Was that Santa Muerte that crashed your car? Or was that you being drunk on drugs again? Weirdo. Realistically, now you got to ride around with your girlfriend and you can't be sitting in your truck stalking me. So either way, I'm cool with this whole scenario. Really? Yeah, I saw that motherfucker yesterday with this girl. I'm like, damn it. Didn't you tell me you guys threw this guy? Thought I was safe in the parking lot. You're never safe. I know, right? They could be watching you. Which one? I did not have sexual relations with that man. But what I'm talking about, this dude came up to my window. He dump trucked me about his unhappy relationship, and I told him to leave the girl. And then he comes up and he's like, hey, you want to have sex? No, I wasn't. I don't care. Come on, dude. What am I supposed to say? And you're like, talking about this girl's treating you bad and those aren't even your kids and blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, you should just move on then. The next thing I know, he comes up to my window. He's like, hey, you want to have sex? Not with me. No, I told him no. But realistically, that's his way. And that's what it is. Why would he do that? I don't know. That's his form of connection. And that's what I'm trying to show you is you guys need to stop connecting in that way. Realistically, I don't know. I'm just like, you got to work on your chakras. Really? And we're talking about the sacral chakra right now, the secret one, because that's where it's being highlighted at this time in our lives. Why? I don't know. Not really sure. Venus? I don't know. Something. So, hey, good luck with that. Let's see what these comments say. If it's Jesus, whatever. What's this say? Allah and Muhammad. Those are good ones. Have you ever tried Tibetan oracles? No. That sounds fun. Tibetan oracles. Hey, you're opening a gateway. I've seen Tibetan oracles, but I haven't got them. I think I have a Leviathan attachment or something similar to it. Leviathan isn't bad. It's just an energy. Really? It's like having an Adamotus. It's not a bad energy. It's an energy in time. People assume that if they have a dark entity or energy around them, that they're cursed or that they're part of, that darkness is above them or around them. It just means you're a child of the darkness. It doesn't mean anything. It's like, how can I explain that? Like, if you were a kid that was born in the hood, you're not a bad kid. You're protected by the hood. You know what I mean? You're protected in ways that others aren't. Realistically, yeah. To have dark protection is probably more, I would say it's more, I mean, it's not more powerful, but it's more necessary in the times that we live. You need someone to protect you from the dark more than the light to walk with you through the dark. The light keeps your spirit light in dark situations. Your dark helps you understand the dark. Really? Yeah, and that's why you need to tap into that. So like there's a lot of people that'll work with light goddesses and they're afraid of the dark goddess. Why? They're afraid of the dark side of a female. And that's where it is like you'll work with Jesus, but you won't take the time to understand what you call these devils or demons. You don't want to understand the dark side of God. They weren't created outside of God. Some of the things that you guys have created in the form of Satan or the devil is a perception of something that is outside of God, which only can be carried within man. He didn't make such things. But as far as his dark army, remember, they were a light army turned dark. So they do everything they did in the light under the dark. That's all that means. Realistically, yeah. They didn't become dark spirited. They just did what they did in the dark. So, going back to, if you have a dark attachment, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like me, I'm blessed and highly favored because I can walk with no fear of the darkness. I walk with the dark lords. I'm protected by, I am the darkness. So when you're with me, you don't have to worry about any kind of evil entities ever. Ever, ever. I'm the dark goddess. I'm the mother of all demons. So if there was demonology or demoness or any kind of evil entity, if you would say such things, it wouldn't be a harm to you in my presence. You'd be protected. Really? Yeah. Because it doesn't see you as a threat. Now, if it was something like, I don't know how to say this without it being a blow up. A false light is in a lot of danger. A false light, like someone like Peter. Peter had to tread lightly. He was not Paul. Peter was dangerous because he didn't fully believe in the light within him, so therefore he could fall victim to the dark at any time. Really? Yeah. He didn't believe that he had the power to fight darkness, so he in any time could have been consumed by darkness. Right? So when you have a full belief that you are protected by the dark lords, you're not afraid of anything of the dark coming to get you because the dark lord will stop it. And that's something that happens with me. I am absolutely not afraid of any dark attacks because first off, I know that my spirit guides are right there. Realistically, yeah. And they're sanctioned by God to stop anything from coming near me. And if it gets past them, then it was meant to be. There's no accidents. There's no way. I always tempt people. I'll give you my fucking address and tell you to show up because I am so fucking sure. I am so fucking sure that there is no way you could penetrate my fucking building. You couldn't come down the parking lot. You could drive around my building 500 times, but your spirit would not let you pull into this parking lot with any intention to harm me. You could think about it and drive around in circles and never be able to come inside. It would be an invisible force field that would not let your spirit come into my parking lot. You could park in the parking lot across from my parking lot watching me, but you still wouldn't be able to approach me. You could buy a ticket to come to the club and see me on Friday and still not have the fucking the nads to walk up and say hi to me. You spent all this money, you've been planning it all this time, you are coming there, you can't wait to fucking tell me something, but your spirit will not allow you to talk to me. You are filled with fear. No matter how much confidence, no matter how much you thought about it, you do not have the strength to approach me. God will not allow anything that's not meant for me near me. I'm so fucking sure of it. I'm so fucking sure of it. When I go to sleep, I could literally go to sleep. I don't test it, but if I had to, I could. I could blindfold myself and walk down the fucking freeway and know that nothing would harm me. But I know a lot of people would be hurt if I did this. He would throw their cars completely into the ground. He would throw them against the wall. He would cut the sea for me. Why? Not because of just who I am, but what I'm here to do. Their lives are not as important as what I'm here to do. Their lives will not equal as many lives as I'm here to change. I would never do such a thing to put people in harm, but that's how secure I am in God. Now, when you're asking me to go out there in my little skin and, go out there down the streets of the ghetto and shit, I'm like, damn, you got me down Colfax like this. It's like all ghetto and shit. You hear me tell stories about that. It's like, nah, but then I remember who the fuck I am and no harm can get me. I ain't afraid of fucking Skid Row. I ain't afraid of none of this shit. If God brought me to it, he is going to walk me through it. Nobody will run at me. I'm not afraid of bullets. I'm not afraid of animals. I'm not afraid of darkness. I'm not afraid of homeless people. I'm not afraid of crackheads. I'm not afraid of fucking none of that shit, bro. No, when you know God, bro, and you know what he's got, you know what I mean, his covering over you, you don't walk in fear of the things of this world. But they come up, and that's just your mind. Your mind will doubt your position. And that's because really, who am I? Who am I in the flesh? Nobody. I'm nobody. On paper, my name says Lisa Ware. I'm nobody on the flesh. It's what my spirit is that makes me so important. And it's the spirit of Lisa that they'll never even speak of it. It's the spirit of Phoenix. They'll speak of my spirit, not my name. Name doesn't mean shit. Realistically, I mean, unless I'm signing like a marriage decree or something, like if I have to sign an actual document, the name really doesn't mean shit. People are trying to make a name for themselves, as you say. That's not how that works. But that's how you get back intact. It's a lot of work to get back in your spirit, to incorporate your higher self. But once your higher self is back in your body, your soul is back in control of your mind and your body, you're on your way. It's a big fight even after that, because now the body, that's what I spend all day, is trying to not control, but direct the body and the mind with my spirit and what it says. But again, my spirit's like, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to move here. And my mind's like, no. You can't do that. Well, why not? Well, because do you know about Colfax? And do you know about this? And da-da-da-da? No, the spirit doesn't care. The spirit has no limits and doesn't fear anything. Spirit's like, none of that matters. No, the mind's like, no, all that matters, because you don't know and you don't know and you don't know. And that's where you got to work through the mind and be like, I get it. I get where you're coming from, all this news information and how you're trying to protect me from my not knowing, but I want to do this. And that's where you got to get it to do stuff that it's afraid of. Like moving to Parker. Why the fuck would you move to Parker? I don't know. It's pretty. My mind is like, it can't even wrap itself around it. It can't even come up with a reason not to, because it doesn't know shit about Parker. But if it knew anything about Parker, it would be giving me reasons why I can't live in Parker. Other than the fact that it's far as fuck, but we're okay with far as fuck, it can't give me any reasons. But that's what it is. It'll stand in my way all the time. You know what I mean? Anytime I want to go to Alaska, why? And it comes up with all these reasons why I can't. You can't afford to do that. Your car doesn't work. This, that, the other. What about this? And you don't know where you're going. And no. It's the logical mind. It's trying to figure everything out. And I don't need it to figure it out. I just need it to let things work out. And we're not taught to let things work like that. We're taught to make things work. So reprogramming is such a pain in the ass. It starts with your heart and working through your mind. Every week, your heart is giving you information, especially on a Friday. It's sending out information of things you need to face. If you do that, you're breaking through the chakra system one by one by one. One thought pattern, one actual pattern, one negative person, one negative trait, one karmic fucking lesson at a time. You can accelerate it and start doing it all the time like I do, or just do them once a week and still be doing great. Still developing 52 new levels of yourself in a year. You've cleared 52 different versions of yourself in 1 year if you're only doing one a week. And that's really it. It's like you've changed so much. You can literally see it too. You're like, dude, I don't do any of that shit. I'm nothing like I was last year. Really? Yeah, it happens. But it happens inside, not so much outside. It's not like going to getting 52 fucking passport stamps makes you different in 52 areas of your life. No, changing your mind 52 fucking times is going to make you fucking different 52 times. Yeah, it makes you look a little unstable, but at least you're working through things instead of having a one-track mindset, and you're opening yourself up to possibilities, if only to work through the barriers of why you couldn't think that way. Not so that you had to move in that way, so that you could just start thinking more positive and always. And that's really what it is. It was never about taking a trip to Alaska, but at least working through the fears of why I couldn't. I can do all things as long as I work through the fear. Then when I'm ready, next time someone says, hey, you want to go to Alaska? I'm fucking ready. I have no fear. But until then, you're full of fear. Really? Yeah? You want to move to Parker? I mean, it's so fucking far. And realistically, why is it far from? I don't know. Anything I know. Same thing as moving to fucking any state at this point. Really? Yeah? Allow yourself to be different. Yeah? Yeah. Any other questions in here? Sorry, I went in the Levitican and went all Leviathan. It's attached to an upper back area. It's been releasing recently. Interesting that they have them known to a specific area. It's funny you say that because I have a spirit and I haven't fully. I kind of think it's POC. I'm not really sure. There is a spirit that I can feel by the physical touch, and it'll be in the upper back around my shoulders and shit in my neck area. It's funny you say that. They said that they had a spirit that they feel in that area. Well, it's funny because it's like they say that we have an angel and a demon on each shoulder. So perhaps, there's times they say that when your hands are itching, that you're shaking hands with an angel. Stuff like that. We can't perceive it. We can feel sensations, and as somebody that works through the six senses, which is all of that, you can't perceive what's happening, but you can feel it. Like you can sense when something's in the room, but you can't see it, right? Your logical mind, your logical eyes can't see it, but you can sense it. If you calm down from the logic, your heart will tell you what it is, and then you might be able to perceive it, but it's usually from the heart. So going back to whoever that says that they have a specific spirit that they feel on their back, it's possible. I used to I'm remembering this memory when I used to drive specifically down Pena, which again, you have to understand our airport is put on these ancient sacral, they're called they were holy lands, and it's cursed lands. There's a bunch of fucking, if you look up Denver International Airport, there's so many crazy conspiracies about the airport and the land that it's put on. So when I used to drive down that street a lot and I'd be in deep meditation with music, just have the music going and the windows open, I promise you, I have so many memories of it. I could feel like someone was kicking my chair, kicking it. And I would acknowledge it because I could feel something kicking my chair and it's just me in the car. And I'd be like, I feel you. I feel that you're there. I could feel something was kicking my chair in the car down that road. Something would get in my car and start kicking my chair. It may have always been in my chair, always in my car kicking it, but on that particular road, I could feel it. I'd be just sitting in my chair multiple times, dude, many different times, listening to the music going either direction, and I could feel this kicking in my chair, like something was kicking, a child kicking the back of your chair. Sometimes you can sense them that close. There's many places, I've also had some very uncomfortable experiences in the beginning where something was on top of my chest. So you can feel entities if they're attached to you, or even in your aura or your space. I'm not going to deny you that in the comments for sure. And I also want you to understand more of what you believe it might be. Do more research, not just what's on the top, because always they want you to fear anything that you cannot see. You know what I mean? Like going back to aliens, they're trying to make us fear the aliens. They've tried to make us fear them since the beginning. Said that they were going to, you know what I mean, harm us, that it was going to be, a total human extinction. And they've come to, you know what I mean, to take our planet and its resources and blow it up. That's very American of them, don't you think? Realistically, yeah, they're making us afraid of something we can't see. They're always trying to make you afraid of some shit, and that's even your parents. Don't go out after night. Don't wear your hair, if do you remember them saying that shit, bro? That you're going to get sick with wet hair. Can somebody explain the science of that to me now that I'm older? Going back to it, I saw these very two very short men. They told them if they ate their vegetables and drank their milk that they would grow up to be tall. These men were never going to be taller than 4 foot nothing. You fucking lied to them and made them eat vegetables and told them if they did this, one day they'd be strong and tall. That was never going to happen. You are short and stubby, and so is their dad. They were never going to be tall. Realistically, I'm just saying, they lied to us, and they make you fear things. They make you fear everything, bro, so that you won't do it, and you won't touch it, and you won't see it and stuff. So your attachment, a lot of people are always telling me that they think that they're being haunted because of my spiritual work. And I'm like always sure that they're not. I'm always sure. I mean, I always tell them if you really think so, but 9 times out of 10, it's just your spiritual team. It's your spirit guides or your ancestors, probably a dead person that loved you a whole bunch that stays right by you all the fucking time. People want me to do they wanted me to do spiritual cleanses and hexes, and they want me to do banishments and stuff, like house cleaning and shit. But it's nothing bad. You're just afraid of anything you can't see. You know there's a spirit in there, and you automatically assume it's a bad spirit out to get you. And that's why I'm like, has anything bad happened to you? Why do you feel like there's a bad spirit around you? Or you just know there's a spirit? And that goes back to what's happening here with me and Bone. I'm about to give them a candle so they can see the spirits. It's like they want you to see them. I'm not going to sit here and play medium for you guys. I'm not, too many of them over there, and too many of them are trying to contact you guys. Really? Yeah. And that's to the rest of you. God himself is trying to contact you. The angels, your ancestors, which are people in your bloodlines and stuff that you don't even fucking know. Like, who the fuck are you? And then you've really got people from this life that died that are still with you. Really? I'm pretty sure Lewis could verify right now that he feels the spirit of Roscoe with him all the time. That dog died like a month ago, but I guarantee you he will say the rest of his life that he feels the spirit of his dog with him all the time. He's not just telling you that. He's telling you he feels it. He can sense Roscoe still with him. And that's what people can say in those moments. I felt like my mom was there. They felt it. They're not just saying it. They can feel the spirit of their loved ones are there during pinnacle moments or even their quiet moments. Your birthdays, even late at night when you're praying, all that stuff. They didn't leave you, bro. It's on the other side of what you can't see. If we work hard on your thoughts, you'll be able to see them again in this life. And of course, the after. Really? Yeah. Hey, I love you guys. Have a good night. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Anything else? Thank you for connecting. No, thank you for connecting and not being a Jesus freak. I like the conversation. I'm open to conversation always. After I stop talking, of course. Thank you. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye now.